Now, in this edition of Newsnight, we have with us Akullo Monica Godiva, a lawyer, rights activist, feminist.
You can say feminist, it's okay.
A few hours from now, a few hours back, you're behind bars, right?
Yes, yes.
Tell us, how did you even wind up in a police cell?
Well, Women for UG is a collection of Ugandan women from all walks of life and of different ages, right? So we meet together occasionally and discuss the direction that this country is taking. And one of the issues that we've been discussing of late has been the proposed amendment of Article 60 and Article 144 of the Constitution by Honorable Kafero Sechitoleko. So we met and decided that we would meet today at the National Theatre and protest by walking around Parliament, praying, and then reading a statement to the press to inform our leaders that we are unhappy with the changes they're trying to make to our laws.
Okay, yes.
Yes. Unfortunately, when we arrived at the National Theatre this afternoon, despite the fact that police had been duly informed and we had all the necessary permissions, we were bundled up and thrown on top of trucks and driven at breakneck speed to Kira Division and held illegally for 3 hours because we were released with no charge.
Okay, did you try to talk to them? Did they give you any reasons why that was happening?
In the beginning, they didn't. They didn't give us any reasons at all for why we were being held until we were released. So, for example, at the National Theatre, when we tried to negotiate with the police officers, they just told us, get on the truck, and one of us was actually lifted physically and thrown into the truck. A group of peaceful women wearing white, these are the colors of our protest, to protest against this, in our opinion, selfish amendment of the Constitution, selfish attempt to amend the Constitution.
Now, did you write, because police normally asks and, you know, demands for procedures before you hold a rally or any gathering. Did you officially write to them before this happened?
We followed all the procedures in accordance with the Public Order Management Act. Here's the thing. I don't want to say that we are more cowardly than any other group of Ugandans, but we really are not interested in getting involved in any sort of confrontation with Uganda police, because we've seen how that ends up for a lot of Ugandans, especially Ugandan women. We've seen women like Ingrid Tuinawe being undressed and being fondled by police officers. So we're not interested in that, because this is a group of women between the ages of 22 to 70. We don't want to fight with the police, which is why we went through the process of informing them.
Okay. Now,
yes.
Did they clear you after you informed them?
They cleared us. They cleared us, which is why we were so shocked. When we arrived there today, we were not bothered at all by the fact that the National Theatre was basically surrounded by police, because we thought they were there for our protection, according to what they had told us.
Now, you earlier touched on, of course, the contentious amendments of Article 60 and Article 144 of the Constitution. At what point do you depart from these amendments, and why so? Okay,
so in the first place, Article 60 provides for the tenure of members of the Electoral Commission who are appointed by the President for 7-year terms, which are renewable only once. Then 144 provides for age limits for judges. Supreme Court justices retire at 70, and then the rest at 65. So the reason why these amendments are being proposed, at least the reasons we've had, are that they would help to preserve independence of the judiciary. However, with a set age limit, there is no correlation between removing that age limit and their independence, because we've seen jurisdictions where justices don't have independence, even when they have life tenure. And then aside from that, we live in a country that is majority youth. The majority of the population of this country is young people who are suffering from a huge unemployment crisis right now. I think about 38% of our young people are unemployed. So why are we trying to amend the Constitution to secure tenure for older people, and yet we should be creating space for these younger people to come in and take these positions? Secondly, in terms of the removal of term limits for members of the Electoral Commission, we've just seen a news report before this segment talking about how this same Electoral Commission has been found to be incompetent by the highest court in this land. Why do these people need an extension of limits?
Godiva, now 302 members of Parliament, 72% of that are, of course, members of the ruling party. Don't you fear that these pleas might fall on deaf ears? Don't you have that kind of worry?
That's a very real worry, and it's definitely something that we've thought about. But we are hoping that this is not an action that's going to be done by only this small group of women that we are right now. No. Ugandans need to pay attention to the issues that we are raising and realize that we are the ones who put these people in parliament, right? So we have the power to call them out and to inform them of the ways in which we want them to make laws for our benefit. So if we can all join this voice as Ugandans and come together to demand for better from our MPs, it may not change much in terms of what they're going to do at the end of the day, but that voice, knowing that Ugandans are not behind what they're doing, we think that it's important for us to stand up and be counted in that manner.
Okay, some people will say, you know what, instead of walking to Parliament and protesting and, doing what you're doing, why don't you lobby some MPs, sit down with them and tell them about this? Have you thought about taking that route?
Yes, yes, yes. And that's the thing about actions like these, right? You have to attack from every angle. So we are definitely doing that. And the things that we are demanding for, right, are that our MPs should reject proposals to remove age limits for anyone within the Constitution, not just for judges. They should reject any attempt to remove term limits for anyone within the Constitution. If they intend to amend the Constitution, it should follow the same consultative process as the process through which the Constitution was promulgated by Ugandans.
So going forward, what's the plan? Are you going to still hold this, even after what happened today?
Yes. The thing is that we are law-abiding citizens, right? We are interested in engaging the police even as we continue with the rest of our actions. We really hope that in the future, they're going to be honest and true to their word when they say that you can go ahead with your protest. Unless there's something going on in the police, which is a question that I really want to ask as a Ugandan. What is going on at the police if on Thursday last week, they told us you could protest? Then we appear on Tuesday, and then we are bundled up and treated like criminals. What's going on? Is there a communication breakdown within the police force? Who is in charge exactly? Who do we need to speak to? Otherwise, if all forms of public assembly in this country have been declared to be illegal in whatever manner by the police, they should inform us, because we are really not interested in being manhandled in the manner that we were today. We are not.
All right. Thank you very much, Monica Godiva. I've been speaking to Monica Godiva, a rights activist, lawyer, and feminist, really. That was Ms.